Hello everyone, this is Azraelis. We are back again. Sorry, I'm going to be a little out of sorts today, a little bit slower. I had some meds changes, which are always a struggle, but I wanted to get this video out, so we will go ahead and we will make some more content on this. I think there was one or two people who were contacting me who were saying that, I know one of them was in the comments, another person was talking to me in Discord, who are wanting to see uh Shinigamazer on. I am just getting distracted. I am very sorry. I will go ahead. I will finish Shinigamazer here soon. I've just been distracted by a couple of cool ideas, okay? So, let's go ahead and talk about what I want to talk about today. I will get back to Shinigamazer. I am sorry that it's not done yet. I also need to finish Azarana as well, which is a shadow-based character, and I think that's the only other one I needed to do. What I wanted to do was revisit Azraelis today, and let you guys know that I'm actually working on one right now that is a pyroblast-centric fire mage. So it's kind of working. Like, you see me here, I'm, a couple levels, 2, 3 levels off of where I would usually show it to you guys. And I'm not quite there, but I think I'm going to get there. It's all a matter of just how much haste I can pull together without sacrificing too much crit, because the cast time on Pyroblast is very, very long, but it is a very strong spell. If you can achieve enough haste along with enough crit, anywho, that's what's going on in that department. That's why I've been distracted from doing some of the other stuff. Let's talk about the full-blown Azraelis, the full-blown Holy DPS spec. This one went over well with you guys. Had a lot of likes on the video. Well, the usual amount of likes on the video. And quite a few people were coming by to just check it out, to see what's going on with the Holy DPS. I figured that it would be kind of interesting for people. And a lot of people would like the idea of doing something that they might not have ever been able to do before. So, this is the full build. Look at this wardrobe. Check this out. I don't know why that tells me, that screams to me, Holy DPS. It's kind of fiery with the reds and oranges, but it's also golden and the whole 9 yards. I like it. Anywho, let's go ahead and talk about the actual build so that I don't keep you here all day. And so that I don't waffle over my words a whole bunch because my brain's all blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we know the original build. The original build was the Holy Fire, Smite, Holy Shock, and the Light's Hammer, Holy Nova, Consecration. Okay, there are some additions now to that, but not too many. We've got Holy Wrath, which actually goes along with all of our AoEs. Yes, I know some of you kind of people who are a little OCD are going to be pissed off that these two aren't swapped, but Q is my blink. I am a mage at heart. And Q has been my blink since time immemorial. So sorry about that. But this is part of your AoE rotation, the Holy Wrath. Can I just skate back over to Ogmar right now? I think I can. I haven't played this in a couple of days. I've been playing the other Azraelis. Yeah, let's just head back to Ogmar real quick. A little sniffly. Holy Wrath. Then we also have the other one of note is Avenging Wrath. This is essentially a better version of Arcane Power. I have them both. This one says that it does not stack with other similar effects, but I haven't done the math to figure out if it's actually stacking with this or not. If it isn't, I will stick with Avenging Wrath instead of Arcane Power, because Arcane Power gives the same benefit, but at a greater cost in mana. They both give 15% increased damage. This one is only holy spells. Avenging Wrath is. This one is all spells, but I don't need all spells because all of the damage I do is holy on this build, as we know. So that's the deal with that. We also have Icy Veins, which we picked up from the Mage tree. I might have had that in the last video. And then we've picked up Mass Dispel and Dispel Magic. So we've picked up a couple things from all over the place, but we are still doing this. The real deal here is once you get... Oh, yeah, Execution Sentence. That's why I wanted to come back here to where the dummies are. Execution Sentence is the only addition to our single target DPS lineup. There's a lot of people out here. Yeah, we'll go to the one in the back so that it's not so noisy in the background. Of course, with my audio levels, you probably can't hear it anyway. Avenging Wrath is actually a really nice addition to this. It actually is from the Paladin tree. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Was it? Yeah, it's Retribution? Yeah. Execution Sentence goes ahead, and it's just a thing that you put on a target right at the start of your rotation, and a hammer slowly descends from the sky, dealing damage over time, and then it goes ahead and does a big burst of damage once the hammer actually hits them. So what that allows us to do is just add this to our rotation, and it's not going to really make any difference to our core rotation anyway. It's just going to end up with adding some extra damage on a longer fight. And that is really, really cool. Really cool. And we're almost there, and I will show you. Holy Wrath is almost more important because it actually does some serious damage. I mean, obviously, it's got a 30-second cooldown. It better do some real damage. So let's hop in here. Oh, yeah, I'm level 70 on this character. I can just use these. Let's show you the Avenging or Execution Sentence first. You guys remember the original from the last video, the original combo, where we go Holy Fire, Holy Shock, and then Smites spam. In this one, all we do is we throw Execution Sentence on. You see the hammer. Boom, boom, boom. And we're sitting here spamming Smites. And bang. So it's just super simple. Right at the start of your rotation, you just drop an Execution Sentence. And then you do your combo as normal. As soon as 30 seconds goes by, you toss out another Execution Sentence, rinse and repeat. Super easy to add to the thing, and it's just more damage. It is. It's fantastic. Our AoE rotation, now that we have Holy Wrath, is quite simply the exact same. As we're running up to the group, we throw out our Light's Hammer. Then we're going to drop our Consecration Aura. We're going to hit Holy Wrath, and then start our spam. When this one comes back, I'll show you it by itself to show you what it actually does. You can see down in that target, or in the tooltip in the bottom right, you can see it says sends bolts of holy power in all directions, causing 1,015 to 1,151 holy damage and stunning all undead and demon targets within 10 yards. I think there's something a little buggy about this, because it's been stunning targets that not necessarily, I would think, were undead or demons. Occasionally. So I think that there's a little bit of spaghetti code going on there with the way things have been ported over for this version of the game. But, whatever, man. It's not that big of a deal. It's not like that stun is really what we're after. So let's do that one by itself. It quite literally is just boom. So it works out perfectly for the rotation, because you're already going to be coming up here, dropping your Light's Hammer, and then trying to center yourself to get your Consecration down before you hit your Holy Wrath. Nothing in here that's changed has messed up the rotation at all. It's just added something that also does not affect the overall rotation. And I like that a lot. It makes a big difference for me. So the tertiary stuff is, once I got through all of this, I kind of sat back and I was like, oh, I don't really have anything else to get. I don't really want to take spells that deal damage that aren't holy, because I have very little in the sense of, I've got good bonus damage, but my holy damage is almost 200 points better, as you can see on here. And my crit chance is almost 10% more than everything else on holy. I really want to stick to holy when I'm dealing damage. So, what else do I do? And the decision actually came from, was it priest? No, it was paladin. Yeah, from Holy Guidance. That thing that we talked about in the last video. Holy spell power and healing spell power. 12%. You go and you throw heals on this person. You pick up things like Mass Dispel, things like Dispel, all of these kind of things. One of the other ones is Aura Mastery. I do use Consecration Aura, or Concentration Aura on here. And this can make it so everybody who's under the effect of your Concentration Aura can become immune to silence and interrupt effects for 6 seconds. And it doubles the capability of the Concentration Aura, which is a 50%. So it would make them immune to any kinds of things that would slow down their cast times by 100%. That's not as important, to be perfectly honest. A lot of people are going to have those built into their kits anyway. But, I mean, once again, icing on the cake. I think that's really the saying that goes miles on this build, is icing on the cake. You have perfectly good DPS, more than serviceable DPS in both AoE and single target. And then you also have heals. You look at my healing power, 647. Of course, that's not going to be as good as a full-blown healer. But being able to toss out a 3577 heal, your crit's still 50% on this. There's one that wasn't a crit. Let's see if we can get another one. See what I'm talking about? Those are nothing. That's nothing to scoff at. You could absolutely go ahead and keep a tank up for a little bit. You don't want to be the main healer, but you could keep up a tank for a little bit with those kind of heals. Your flash heals. Really kind of good. It's nothing to scoff at. It's really not. If you had your buddy over there who was a fellow DPSer and he was doing stuff, let's use my pet as a representation. He's in there, he's doing his best, and the healer's not going to get a chance to hit him. You could very well be doing your rotation, whatnot, see that he's going to go down and toss him some heals that could absolutely keep him up. Look at this dude's got 7,000 some health. Let's say he's got a little bit more than that because he's an actual player. Being able to drop a few 2k heals, you can absolutely make a difference with your healing. And look at my mana. I'm not even using things like Water Shield and stuff like that. I'm not even using something like Blessing of Wisdom. I'm not. Am I properly? Yeah, I am. I had all my buffs up. Okay, good. I like this build a lot. A lot. The pet you see here, this pet comes from, he's got some cool abilities that I will go over here in a sec. He comes from right up here, down in the Kirinvar village, what's this place called? I forgot. Netherstorm. Right down here, there's a village with a whole bunch of ghosts and stuff. And then over in one of the areas, you'll find these guys and something, I think it was called a mana wraith or something. And one of them you can't control, and the other one you can. He is an elemental, so you need to go into Shaman to get Tether Elemental to use him. His abilities are super cool because he uses Arcane Bolt. He's just doing Arcane. Back in the day, Azraelis was originally an undead mage who was running, he ran a bunch of different stuff, but my original incarnation of Azraelis was a arcane mage. So I was like, I'm just going to be like, this is a shard of his power. Azraelis the Undying, you know. Anyway, in my head canon. Then it also has this ability called Drain Power, which deals a ticking damage of 100 or arcane damage up to 5 enemies, and it increases his damage by 2% for 30 seconds. I was like, that's kind of cool. I like that. That is pretty neat. And to be honest, I was just trying to use the ability points. So if I have the guy who has an AoE that can hit up to 5 targets and then buff his damage, and he shoots little, 1 second arcane bolts, and he can blink, that's a cool pet to have. That's just going to be a boon to whatever I'm doing. So I grabbed him. And it works out great. Is it thematic? I don't know of any holy pets that I could have taken. So I don't, it's just something that's here, and it's kind of cool and original, and I like it. You could use whatever pet you want in this kind of a build, to be perfectly honest. So was there anything else I needed to talk about? I think I had Elemental Oath the last time I did a video on this, so I don't really need to talk about that. We, of course, take Flame Tongue Weapon because we want Flame Tongue Weapon because it increases our damage. We've gone 3 points into Death's Grasp. This is for a hit rating. Our total hit rating with our Wombo combo of Fell Armor and Molten Armor is going to bring us to, is 9%. So we are still just a little low. But in my opinion, at this point, we could very easily go ahead and grab a couple pieces of gear as we get better gear that just have hit rating on them. We're close enough as far as I'm concerned. And if I really, really needed to do something about it, there is still points that I could shuffle around in here. Do I need... I don't know, actually, now that I think about it. I think pretty much everything in here is kind of needed. I mean, I could lose a little bit of crit and pick up some more hit. I guess if I wanted to go down to 47, I kind of like having 50% crit, though. But, I mean, there are routes I guess you could do. Go ahead and reduce your crit a little bit more to go ahead and get more hit. But 9% is serviceable for me. I'll try to make up the rest of it with gear increases. It's just money, dude. This is a cool spec. I'm really, really pleased with it. We even have cooldowns that we blow. We've got reses. We've got resurrection here. We've got a whole lineup of priest heals. We've even got Halo. Halo. Jeez, my voice is cracking. Halo is a big, huge AoE that you can hit pretty much a whole raid with if you were positioned correctly. You literally drop it, and it makes a gigantic circle all the way around you, and it grows, and everything that the circle hits, it heals. So we've even got a whole lineup of heals, so we can off-heal as well as go ahead and deal just as good a damage as other DPSers. I would be happy to have a character like this, or even multiple of them, in a raid. Because anytime anything bad happened, that there's somebody, or a couple of them, that could go ahead and pick up some pieces and maybe finish off that fight. Oh, your healer got downed by some errant, AoE or something. One of these guys could go ahead and definitely pick up the pieces and maybe buy you a few more seconds. Or they could off-heal on an off-tank or something like that. They could definitely pull that off. They have plenty of mana to do it. They have plenty of, they don't have plenty. They would have just enough healing to pull something off like that. Not necessarily do it extremely well, but it could work, is what I'm saying. Especially if they had any kind of buffs coming in from someone else on that target. Or if, say, that target, like an off-tank, had things on them that increase the healing that they receive. Healing a tank through like while they're popping their cooldowns, that's definitely something that could happen. So if it was a panic moment where a tank is going to be like, I got to pop all my defensive cooldowns, someone like this definitely has a good chance of being able to keep them alive. All while dealing DPS. Perfectly serviceable DPS. Even better than that. Look at that. Just that was a holy fire, which procced a instant cast smite, which then I instant cast a holy shock, which procced another instant cast smite. So that was pure luck, but it's good stuff, dude. It is. It's good. It's good stuff. And I love the synergy. That's the whole deal. I'm going to wrap this up because I don't want this one to go for 30 minutes. But it's the synergy. We've got things like Elemental Oath. We've got all the buffs that we want. We've got, our offensive cooldowns. We've got, things like resurrects and heals and all that kind of jazz. We've got heals built into our AoEs. We've got heals built into our single target because we can use Holy Shock the same way. We've got Mass Dispel and Dispel. We've got even defensive cooldowns to help our team, especially in like a PvP kind of scenario with our Aura Mastery. It's all there, and it's all working great. So, if you haven't tried out a Holy DPS spec, I totally recommend it. So, as usual, I'm going to go ahead and do the quick fire here to go ahead and talk about all of the different stuff that's involved with this spec. Here we go, people. We go into Druid to pick up Innervate and Mark of the Wild. We're not spending any points otherwise in the talents in Druid. We go into Hunter to grab 2 points into Focus Fire. This is for 2% damage for me and 2% for the pet. You can obviously put this somewhere else. I chose this because those 2 points are more beneficial to me since they increase my damage by 2% and my pet's damage by 2%, instead of just my damage by 2%. We go into Mage. We're grabbing Arcane Intellect, Evocation, and Blink and Ritual of Refreshment. We're grabbing in Arcane Student of the Mind, Arcane Mind, Spell Power. Remember, that's the one that we want because it's the one that has the capstone bonus that we want, and it's going to work for us. We're grabbing Arcane Power, which we might not need, depending on whether or not Avenging Wrath actually doesn't stack with it. And we're grabbing Mind Mastery. Then we're grabbing Consecration, Concentration Aura, and Light's Hammer and Holy Wrath. Then in the talents, we're grabbing Divine Intellect. We're grabbing Aura Mastery, Holy Power, Holy Shock, and Holy Guidance. Under the Protection tree, we've come in here to grab Blessing of Kings. And then in Retribution, we've come down here to grab Avenging Wrath and Execution Sentence. In the Priest tree, we're grabbing Divine Spirit, Mass Dispel, and Dispel in Discipline. Then we're grabbing Twin Disciplines, which increases the damage of our holy spells, damage and crit. And then Meditation, which is going to give us, of course, our ability to get our spell critical strike up to by 15% of our spirit, and also the 25% of our mana to regeneration while casting. Mental strength, 10% intellect. Then we're grabbing 3 points into enlightenment because this gives us 3% spirit, int, and spell haste, which is just a totally awesome 3 points to spend. In holy, we're grabbing renew and greater heal and smite and resurrection and flash heal and holy fire and holy nova, halo, all of these guys here. Then we're picking up searing light, which is going to increase our single target damages and our holy nova, and surge of light, which is another one of those really important ones. In shaman, we're going to grab tether elemental from the elemental tree. We're grabbing raise for increased crit, elemental precision, and elemental oath. And then in enhancement, we're grabbing frostbrand weapon, and then nothing else. In warlock tree, we're coming into afflictions. We're grabbing 3 points into death grasp because once again, 3% increase hit and 3% increase haste. That's another pretty good value Not quite as good as the one that's way down there in the priest tree, but it's a damn good 3-point value right here for haste and hit. In demonology, we're coming down and we're grabbing fell armor. And then in warrior, this is the one that I haven't been able to utilize yet, but I've come down here and I've grabbed Titan's Grip so that if I decide to, I can go ahead. If you don't know, Titan's Grip allows you as a caster class to go ahead and wield a staff and an offhand weapon. So I'm not utilizing it yet, and that's because I have Stormcaller from the maxed out Thrallmar reputation. You can buy that from the reputation guy in Thrallmar that's straight to the left of the main building in Thrallmar, right next to the calling board, which is an exceptional one-handed caster weapon. 159 spell power, 21 critical strike. That is really, really good when you're not into raid content yet. Remember that. But eventually, I hope to be able to get a really, really good staff that could potentially give me better results, give me better stats, and all of that kind of jazz off of a single target. So that's it. That is the whole entire thing wrapped up, all nice and neat for you guys. Holy DPS at level 70. It's money. It is absolute money. I am loving this build. This is actually the first character that I've gone back and actually started just doing quests to gain gold, because I'm actually trying to get the flying mount with them. They do plenty of damage. They relieve a bunch of stress on your healer because of how much AoE heals and instances you're pumping out. And not to mention, if everybody dies and like you're one of the last people left, you can res people. So much synergy, such a high output in damage. It almost feels unfair sometimes when you're going through. But that's the whole name of the game in Project Ascension, is you're trying to find those things. And this is one of those things that you couldn't do in regular WoW, and that's because half of the build is in Paladin and the other half is in Priest, which you can't do in regular WoW. So, peace out, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of jazz. If you want to help out the channel, you can hit up my donation links in the description below. And, yeah, share me with your friends. If you know anybody who wants to watch an old boomer play video games. And, yeah. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for liking the videos, subscribing, all that kind of stuff. I appreciate it. Those of you who donate to the channel, hook me up with stuff like green screens, which looks way better than it did last time I was using it. Peace. I'll see you on the next one.